Well, welcome back to the Budget Gamer channel, where we bring you critical and in-depth reviews of just about every indie game we can get our hands on, and today we're going to be taking a look at Baba Is You for the Nintendo Switch. So if you are a puzzler fan, you're really going to want to buckle in for this one, because this little game has so much to offer. Except because it's a puzzle game, it doesn't really have a story. There is no story at all, but somehow, surprisingly, probably due to the way the map is laid out and the scoring system, it does have a bit of an adventure-y feel. But instead of playing as any sort of knights or wizards or other sort of heroes, you're going to be playing the game as Baba, which is either a little white dog or a rabbit or a guinea pig or something. But whatever the little critter is, you're going to be using that primarily as your main way of navigating through the levels and solving all the puzzles. If you're a gamer that's not quite familiar with any sort of programming language or really doesn't have any sort of a background with computers at all, you might be kind of surprised at how the puzzles in Baba Is You are laid out. Basically, every single game will have a series of rules on screen that tell you exactly who you are and how to win. Starting off the game, you'll have the most basic rules possible, the first one being Baba Is You, which is a statement saying that you are the character Baba, and that's what your movement and input controls will control. And the other rule is how to win, such as flag is win. And all you'll have to do in that scenario is move Baba to the flag, and Baba As You wins the game by hitting the flag, which equals win. But as anticlimactic as that simple puzzle may sound, don't worry, because the game has over 200 levels to offer. The further you get into the game, though, the puzzles are going to get decidedly more difficult, adding new rules on top of one another to stack up to make incredibly complex situations. You may be confronted with the target flag to complete the level surrounded in impenetrable block walls, or there may be some uncrossable moat that will kill you if you touch the water. But regardless of the circumstance you're in, the only tools you'll have at your disposal is the ability to push around, or later in game, pull around, certain pieces of phrases to make new code statements to change the rules of the game. And whether that's changing the statement of Baba Is You to Rock Is You to play around the game as a giant boulder, or maybe by pushing the word is out of the statement wall is stop, could allow you new access to new areas, and allow you to alter the rules of the level just enough to let you easily pass through to get whatever equals win. Baba Is You not only offers the player over 200 puzzles as well as multiple endings and hidden levels to unlock, but along its multiple overworld map locations, there are different environments with different themes. And whether you're cruising through a forest or a factory, you're going to come across new artifacts that might inspire you to change the rules in new and innovative ways. So even though it is a raw puzzling game, there actually is a surprising amount of diversity, with the thematic levels allowing you some new and unique puzzling situations. But in all honesty, after about 30 levels or so, it is pretty easy to handle the yes-no type computer language to be able to solve these puzzles fairly quickly. Which is why I'm actually happy to say that the rules themselves get even more complicated, adding in more code and grammar. You won't actually make it very far into the game before encountering grammatical statements such as and, with, or even not, which will need to be used in combination with the yes-no type statements that you've been using throughout the previous levels in order to solve more and more intricate puzzling situations. And since this is a point where some of you are probably imagining yourselves getting a little bit frustrated, I'd like to take a bit of a detour to talk about the graphics and the sound. The graphics in the game resemble an MS Paint marker or like a toddler's crayon drawing, and along with the subtle and melodic soundtrack, really do well to abate any sort of player frustration. Overall, the game's art and music are just as simple as the childlike rules embedded in the game's overarching structure. And I honestly think it was a really clever touch on the part of the developer, because it makes you realize and keep realizing, even though the puzzles get really intense, that this is just a simple game. And though there are a few occasions where you're probably going to be wanting to beat your head against the wall, every single one of the triumphs over a difficult puzzle is legitimately a triumph. None of the puzzles are difficult because they require some sort of a trick or a cheat, but pure logic and innovative thinking. And on that note, I honestly was really impressed. Because even if you're not a die-hard puzzler, or you are a die-hard puzzler and you just get stuck on some of those harder levels, the game developer didn't want to make it difficult. If you get stuck or you make a wrong move, it's not the end of the puzzle, causing you to restart over completely. You can just press the X button and move back a step, or hold it down and pretty much rewind the level to any point you want. And even though it might not be that visually impressive, it does have a huge amount of polish in the gamer's quality of life. It's both intuitive and forgiving, and is absolutely brilliant in its simplicity. But as Baba Is You is a very simple game, it's not short or easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it is simple and there's really no story to talk about. That really is about it as far as a game review goes. If you are already a fan of puzzle games, this is a no-brainer must-have for your collection game. But oddly enough, with its charm and its simplistic playstyle and its reminiscence of the SNES era and classic arcade games, if you are a fan of those genres or just casual gaming in general, this is probably one you might want to check out as well. So yeah, especially while it's on sale right now for about 30% off, I really recommend you check it out if you're even remotely interested. But anyway, that does about wrap up the review of Baba Is You on the Nintendo Switch. So if you enjoyed the review, and especially if you found it helpful, feel free to throw me a comment or like, show your support. And don't forget to click that little bell icon when you subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. There are new and unique indies coming out literally every single day. So there's always going to be some cool new game to discover right here. But if you want to get more involved with the channel, want to say hey to me, or even talk to some of your fellow gamers, you can click any of the links in the bottom right corner of our channel's banner for Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, or even our channel's Discord. But anyway, this has been Budget Gamer, so as always, thanks for watching.